You left me and you went away.
What if the biggest star in the history of American music died with less than $100 to his name?
And you left me here alone. I don't know.
What if the men who wrote the checks made sure of it? Somewhere between the gold records and the funeral homes,
I can't sleep awake, that is true.
10 legends lost everything, and almost nobody talks about how. Welcome to Country Corner,
Never makes a scene.
where we dig up the stories the industry buried under the hits.
People like to talk.
Tonight, in Country Stars Who Lost Millions Before They Died,
They turn out the lights.
we're counting down 10 artists whose fame filled other men's pockets while their own ran dry.
It's been a long.
Ending with the loss so devastating, it still doesn't feel real 70 years later.
How's your new love? Are you?
Number 10. Ernest Tubb, Walking the Floor Over You, 1941.
I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks.
The song that built the Texas Troubadour's whole career.
You left me and you went away.
The song Billboard would later call one of the most important records in country history.
I'm missing, you left me here alone.
Ernest didn't just sing country music. He built a cathedral for it.
I can't sleep awake, that is true.
His Nashville record shop became a shrine, a place where fans lined up for autographs, and a Saturday night radio show that ran for decades. But behind the counter, the man was drowning.
Someday you may be lonesome too.
By the time he died in 1984,
Just keep right on walking and it won't hurt.
decades of underpriced contracts, generous loans to musicians who never paid him back,
I can't sleep awake, that is
and a business model built on trust instead of lawyers had hollowed out his fortune.
over you.
Here's the part almost nobody knows. Ernest kept working shows into his 70s while hauling an oxygen tank on stage.
And the flow is good for you.
Not for glory, but because he genuinely could not afford to stop.
Love you and I will the day I die.
The man who taught Nashville how to sell records couldn't keep the profits from his own.
That is true, sing it, Roy.
And if you think that's a hard way to lose a fortune, wait until you hear what happened to the man at number 9.
I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart.
Number 9. Charlie Rich, Behind Closed Doors, 1973.
Oh, don't she make
The Silver Fox had the kind of year every artist dreams about. Album of the Year,
over me in a crowd?
Male Vocalist of the Year, a song that defined the countrypolitan sound and made him one of the wealthiest men in country music almost overnight.
And when we get behind,
Then came the moment nobody saw coming. At the 1975 CMA Awards,
sweet glad that I
handed an envelope to announce the next Entertainer of the Year.
closed doors.
Charlie Rich set the card on fire in front of the entire industry. Some called it a drunken stunt.
My
Those close to him always insisted it was something else entirely.
bitch never far away.
A quiet protest against a sound he thought was killing the genre he loved.
She's always a lady.
Whatever the truth, Nashville never forgave him. Bookings dried up. Royalty deals turned sour.
Lights, she's still
The man who once outsold his peers spent his final years largely forgotten,
behind closed doors.
dying in a hotel room in 1995 with a fraction of the wealth that Fire almost seemed to predict. Because if betrayal from an industry stings, it's nothing compared to watching your own business partner burn down everything you built.
Never makes a scene. Hanging on.
Number 8. Mickey Gilley, Room Full of Roses, 1974.
Every time you make
Gilley's nightclub in Pasco, Texas wasn't just a bar, it was an empire. The world's largest honky-tonk, immortalized in the film Urban Cowboy, pulling in mechanical bull riders and tour buses by the thousands. Mickey Gilley was, for a moment, one of the richest men to ever come out of country music. In 1989, the club burned to the ground in a fire investigators never fully explained.
Don't send me room,
Insurance disputes dragged on for years.
but I won't smile.
A bitter, public legal war with his own business partner, Sherwood Cryer,
Has lost its color.
ate up what the fire hadn't already taken. Here's the detail most fans never learn. Gilley later admitted the lawsuit cost him more than the fire itself.
Searching for a rose.
And that betrayal, not the flames, was what nearly broke him. He spent his later decades rebuilding a career in Branson, Missouri, smiling through crowds who had no idea the man on stage had lost a fortune to the very friend who helped him build it.
He'll be untrue.
And friendship turning to betrayal was only the beginning for the man waiting at number 7. Number 7, Jim Reeves. He'll Have to Go, 1959.
But your sweet lips a little close,
Gentleman Jim had one of the smoothest voices country music ever produced.
that we're together.
A velvet baritone that made him a global star, especially across Europe and South Africa,
It's way down low.
where he remains beloved to this day. On July 31st, 1964,
To go.
his small plane went down in a storm outside Nashville,
True.
killing him instantly at just 40 years old. What most fans never hear is what happened after.
Though love is blind, make a...
Reeves had signed away enormous chunks of his publishing rights early in his career.
Should I hang up, or will you tell?
The kind of quiet, standard practice deal that quietly transferred a fortune's worth of future royalties
Want to hear while you're with.
to men who never sang a note. His estate spent years in legal disputes,
Darling, I will understand.
trying to reclaim control of unreleased recordings, master tapes, and royalty streams
Pretend that we're together.
that rightfully should have gone to his widow. Posthumous albums,
To turn the jukebox.
built from tapes he never approved for release, generated millions that flowed everywhere except where they should have.
He'll have to.
Gentleman Jim never lived to see his own afterlife turned into someone else's business model.
Her sweet lips a little closer.
And business turning into betrayal is exactly the story waiting one spot closer to the top.
Together, all alone.
Number 6, Conway Twitty. Hello, Darlin', 1970. Twitty City. That's the name Conway gave the sprawling entertainment complex he built in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Are you happy?
A theme park, museum, and mansion compound built entirely on the strength of his own hits. For a while, it worked. Then the theme park business, brutal and unforgiving even for country royalty, started bleeding money every single year. Conway Twitty died suddenly of an abdominal aneurysm on a tour bus in 1993.
Did you wrong?
At the age of 59, and when the accounting settled,
Just for old time's sake.
his estate was left with debts that shocked even people close to him. Here's what almost nobody remembers.
Thank you, darling. May God.
Twitty City had to be sold off within 2 years of his death, just to begin covering what he owed.
To the things you seek.
The physical monument to his career liquidated piece by piece to strangers.
Try to find a way.
A man who wrote the soundtrack to 1,000 American weddings
And true.
couldn't keep the doors open on the palace he built with his own 2 hands.
Forgive me. Come.
If a story like that hit you right in the chest, that's exactly what Country Corner exists for.
You're doing fine.
We're not here to recite trivia. We're here to make sure the people who built this genre are never reduced to a name on an old record sleeve. If that means something to you,
Except I can't sleep.
hit subscribe and turn on notifications,
What I'm trying to
because the next story we tell might be about someone you didn't even know you'd been missing.
did you wrong.
Number 5. Tammy Wynette, Stand By Your Man, 1968.
Sometimes it's hard.
The First Lady of country music sold millions of records with a song that became a cultural anthem.
On my own.
And yet by the time she died in 1998, her finances told a very different story than her album sales.
Things that you don't
Chronic illness plagued her for decades, forcing dozens of surgeries
love him. You're
and an addiction to painkillers that drained both her body and her bank account.
to understand.
But the detail that stunned fans came out only after her death,
Oh, be proud of him.
when her daughters publicly alleged that her fifth husband, George Ritchie, had controlled and mismanaged her money in her final years, leaving far less behind
Thing to and some
than a star of her magnitude should have had. Tammy Wynette,
man.
the woman whose voice defined heartbreak for an entire generation, spent her last years fighting a body that betrayed her.
The love you can.
And, according to her own children, a marriage that may have done the same to her fortune. And when the exploitation comes from someone who's supposed to protect you, that pain doesn't stay in country music.
Love him. Keep giving.
It follows straight into soul. Number 4. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, 1971. The godfather of soul was, at his commercial peak, one of the highest earning black entertainers in American history. A man who owned radio stations, jets, and real estate most performers could only dream of. But by the time he died on Christmas Day 2006, decades of IRS disputes, mismanaged business ventures, and a will that would remain contested in court for over a decade had turned his estate into a legal battlefield instead of a legacy. Here's what still shocks people today. More than 15 years after his death, arguments over James Brown's fortune were still unresolved in South Carolina courtrooms. Family members and former associates fighting over money the man himself was never able to fully protect while he was alive. The hardest working man in show business spent a lifetime building an empire, only to leave behind a war nobody could win. But even that pales next to the mystery still surrounding the man at number 2. Number 2, Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come, 1964. Sam Cooke wasn't content being just another artist signing away his rights. He built his own label, SAR Records, and his own publishing company.
It's been a long,
An almost unheard of move for a black musician in the early 1960s.
change gonna come.
Specifically so he could control his own money. It should have made him one of the wealthiest men in the industry.
It's been too hard.
Instead, on December 11th, 1964,
I don't know what's up there.
he was shot and killed under circumstances that remain disputed to this day. In a motel office in Los Angeles, at just 33 years old.
A change.
Here's the detail that haunts historians.
Then I go.
Cooke had recently signed a new deal with RCA worth a fortune by 1960s standards.
Then I say, brother.
But he died before ever collecting the bulk of it. And control of his master recordings and publishing catalog
Knock it.
became the subject of quiet legal maneuvering for years afterward. The man who fought harder than almost anyone to own his own voice
I couldn't last for long.
didn't live long enough to spend what that voice had earned him. And still,
Father, to care.
nothing on this list compares to what happened to the man who started it all.
Long time coming.
Number 1. Hank Williams, Your Cheatin' Heart, recorded 1952.
You're cheating hard.
Released after his death in 1953.
And
Before there was a Nashville, there was Hank Williams. And before he was 30 years old,
you're cheating hard.
he had already written more of the American songbook than most artists manage in a lifetime.
Like falling rain.
On January 1st, 1953, he was found dead in the back seat of his powder blue Cadillac.
The floor. The way
On the way to a New Year's show he never made it to. He was 29 years old.
on you.
Here's the fact that still stops people cold. At the time of his death, Hank Williams had almost nothing to his name, despite having sold millions of records and packed venues across the country his entire short career.
You're cheating hard.
Managers, promoters, and a legal system with almost no protections for young artists
You threw away.
had structured his contracts so that the money kept moving, just never toward him.
Cheating hard.
His own family fought over what little remained, and over the rights to his songs,
Like falling rain.
for decades afterward, a fight that in some corners never fully ended.
You'll walk the
Hank Williams gave country music its voice, its heartbreak, its entire blueprint,
heart and will tell on
and he died before he was old enough to rent a car, with barely enough left to bury him properly.
you sleep.
The man who taught America how to feel every kind of loss
You're cheating hard.
never got to feel what it was like to be paid what he was worth.
Like falling rain.
10 stars, 10 fortunes. Every single one of them handed millions of dollars in talent
Off the floor.
and walked away with a fraction of what they earned. If this channel means something to you, if you believe these stories deserve to be told right, subscribe to Country Corner
Cheating hard.
and stick around, because there are dozens more names history tried to quietly erase,
The time will come.
and we're not done bringing them back. So we want to know,
Heart will tell on.
out of everyone on this list, whose story hit you the hardest and why?